Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on pattern recognition. Number patterns in mathematics are very common. In simplest terms, a number pattern involves a list of numbers where the individual terms in the pattern are connected by some rule. Once we discover the rule, we can understand how the pattern is organized, and we can write down other terms that make up the pattern. Let's look at some examples. Find the rule and write down the next two terms in the pattern. So, for example 1, we have 8, 12, 16, 20 and 24. We can see that the pattern begins at 8, there it is there, and the number 4 is added. 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 plus 4 is 20, etc. So we can see that there is a pattern happening. So the pattern begins at 8 and the number 4 is added to obtain the next number each time. So the next two terms are 28 and 32. 24 plus 4 is 28. 28 plus 4 is 32. We can also say that the pattern is the 4 times tables starting at 4 times 2, because 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, etc. Example 2, we have these numbers. The pattern begins at 7 and the number 3 is added to obtain the next number each time. So the next two terms are 22 and 25. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 plus 3 is 16, 16 plus 3 is 19, 19 plus 3 is 22, and 22 plus 3 is 25. Example 3, we have these numbers here. Starting at 49, the number 5 is subtracted to obtain the next number each time. So the next two numbers are 19 and 14. So if you go through that slowly, just keep subtracting 5 until you get to 24. When you subtract 5, so 24 minus 5 gives us 19, and 19 minus 5 gives us 14. Example 4, we have those numbers there. These are the square numbers starting at 1 squared. So the next two numbers are 36 and 49. So 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared. So that's 6 squared, which is 36, and 7 squared, which is 49. This is the next example. Starting at 512, halve each number to obtain the next number each time. So you just keep halving. You'll see that works all the way through. And when we get here, half of 64 is 32, and half of 32 is 16. Example 6, those numbers there. Starting at 3.2, add 1.2 each time to obtain the next number. So you keep adding 1.2 to each of the numbers. So when you get to 6.8, if you add 1.2, that gives you 8. 8 plus 1.2 gives you 9.2. Example 7, we have those numbers there. These are the triangle numbers starting at 1. Now if we remember from Year 6 and previous lessons, the triangle numbers start at 1. The next number is 1 plus 2. The next number is 1 plus 2 plus 3. The next number is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, etc. So when we get to here, we can find the next number. Now an easier way to do this is this. From there to there you add 2. From there to there you add 3. From there to there you add 4. From there to there you add 5. So from there to there you add 6. So that gives you 21. And from there to there you add 7, and that gives you 28. And the last example, this is a very interesting one. Starting at 4, add 6, then subtract 5. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. And 13 minus 5 is 8. So this video has presented the idea of number patterns. And all we have to do is look at the series of numbers or the sequence of numbers, try and work out what the rule is, and that way we can add other numbers to the pattern.